Just when I thought I couldn't find my way out, yeah, I searched the God in me to find my way out. I know it can seem way out, but the Creator flows to and through me from way out. I'm talking way out, yeah, yeah, yeah. See, if you believe in the God in you, it's a better place. Creating the force and the power to live a better day. Just know that love and joy and peace is one in all of the same space. That you were chosen just like God. That's right. Only you can make the change. Shine your head at you. Shine so bright from darkness to light. From darkness to light. Yeah. And you'll find your way out. Oh, it won't seem way out. The power of God will flow through you from way out.
Welcome. This is Alchemizing Energies. I'm your host, DJ Genesis, and I have been away. Man, YouTube put me on a strike for 2 weeks, guys. And honey, I have been so mad about that because, man, you know what? I missed the whole Carmelo Anthony thing, but I think I needed to because it was getting real hectic out here, and I'm seeing that I probably didn't need to be a part of that. So, you know what? Sometimes the ancestors work in your favor. You know, they might they might be like, you know what? Nah, that's not your battle to like your axe to grind. And so, you know, I pretty much got like said, like, you know what? Don't be a part of that. So it's okay. So what I wanted to like talk about is Umar Johnson talking about E5, you know, because, you know, enough about Carmelo, you know, he has enough channels talking about what he got going on. I want to talk about Umar Johnson's discussion about E5. I think that more people need to realize what E5 is. I just saw Chaotic Truth. He did a live and he watched the same video and that I'm about to play in a few seconds. And man, it was so like disrespectful how they treated what he was saying. It was like, man, you know, the way that they like talked about what he was talking about, it was so you know, I get it, you have different religions and this, that, the other, but I'm gonna play a little bit of it and then we're gonna go into what EFI is, because I think that there's such a misunderstanding of what EFI is. What is EFI? What is EFI? So let me play a little bit of what Umar Johnson had to say about E5, at least in his life. So let's go into it. Let's go.
Parts in between. Good to be back. Today is day 2 of the 21-day Pan-African fast we started back in 2020.
Right. So he put together a Pan-African fast where he's like doing like a whole fast, you know, starting in 2020. Let's go.
And so for the first 3 days of this year's fast, we can't consume any solid food for the first 3 days.
Okay.
So this is I'm about 36 hours in now without no food
at all.
Only liquid.
Wow.
You know what I mean? We do this from a cultural and a Pan-Africanist and a racial, not racist, because we can't be racist, but from a race consciousness perspective to get closer with the Almighty, closer with our ancestors, and more in alignment with our own destiny. So you're actually the first interview of the 21-day Pan-African fast.
Dope, man, dope. How does it feel? How do you feel?
The hunger pains hit you, but that's the purpose. Discipline, right? Discipline.
Right.
You know, and my ancestors, they have spoken to me directly or indirectly, bringing me messages from the Almighty about the need for me to become more disciplined in preparation for the next stage of my life. So everyone's life.
All right. So I don't see anything wrong so far. You know, Man, the way that Chaotic Truth was making this, he just sounded like he was babbling and sounding crazy. Let's continue on. I mean, it sounds pretty sound to me. Let's go.
Goes through cycles. You have to figure out what is the numerical cycle of your life. For example, you have a 1 year cycle, obviously, your birthday. 3 is normally odd numbers. 3, 5, 7, 9, 11. Some cycles are even larger, right? The way you figure out the cycle of your life is by writing down, I would say, the 10 to 20 most important things that ever happened in your life, good and bad, right? Good and bad. You hit the lottery.
All right, so he's like talking about numerology. He's breaking down the whole like aspect of numerology. How do you find the most important things that happen in your life and then break those things down on a numerical basis? Pretty much Ifa is based in numbers. You know, when do things get birthed into existence? Okay. Ifa, the Odu of Ifa, focuses on, okay, when did this thing come to be? So he's not wrong there. Let's go.
You was in a major car accident that almost took your life.
Right.
The birth of a child, your own birth. You know, you getting accepted into a certain job, a certain career. Write them down. Add up the numbers of that date. For example, today is June 11, 2026. That's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 and 6 is 18. 1 and 8 is a 9, right? That's a 9. So you add up the dates and you...
Okay, so people will say this is witchcraft, but it's just numbers. Adding up times, breaking down things to find out the source of it. Let's go.
See, is there a frequent occurring number of all them dates? You follow? If you start seeing a bunch of 9s, that might mean loon.
That's
life.
your number. It's a 9 path or whatever.
You also look at the most important event of every year in your life. So let's say you got a 30-year-old brother, right? What's the most important from the time you can remember? Let's say 4th grade, 9 years old, right? So from 9 to 30, what was the single biggest event in each of those years, right? And then you look at the year it was, and you can also figure it out. I'm going to give you an example of my life, right? 9 years old, Black History class. 18, Black Student Union in college. My 3rd 9-year cycle, I become a certified school psychologist. My 4th 9-year cycle, I take over the conscious community.
All right. So, I mean, I don't see any lies told here. Like, so, you know, I heard like Chaotic Truth trying to make it so that just trying to destroy everything that Umar was saying. Listen, I get it. School didn't open up. I think he actually like did get like some grants to like still keep the school up and going. But, you know, he is a priest in Ifa, and you have to respect him as a Babalawo. He's a Babalawo.
My 5th 9-year cycle, I purchased FDMG. You see what I'm saying? The major events all came at a 9.
Yes.
This is the 9th year of my current cycle, which means next year, if I do what I'm supposed to do, I'll be going to a higher level, whatever that is.
Right.
Whether that's Africa, whether that's more schools. You follow me? I don't know what the Almighty has in store for me. But normally when
I'm not sure if he's a Babalao or a Omoawo. I think that based on this bead, I don't see it around his neck, the Babalao bead. He might be an Omoawo. So he's an Omoawo. That's what I'm saying. Like that one, the right hand. I don't see the left hand. So he's a Omoawo. So he's learning Ifa. Let's go.
Complete a cycle. That next year,
you start.
Boom.
Yes, 100%.
You follow?
And you're saying that according to religion, is this a religion?
Well, this is just numerology.
Okay,
so a certain aspect of numerology.
And you're saying that you incorporate.
Life is mathematical.
Right. And I understand that and agree with that and have studied that on a very, very low level.
Yes,
but
sir.
I understand it. I do wonder. So you're saying that these things are not coincidences.
No, sir.
And I agree with that because numerology does tell you that.
I'm going to take you to Ifa, which is the spiritual system that I study, right? So in Ifa, our soul exists on 2 planes. The real loon is in heaven. You are not the real you, okay? You are just...
Okay, no lies told. So let's go.
The metaphor or the projection. You follow me?
Mhm.
The real you is up there.
Right.
The real you, like a radio transmitter, broadcasts to the inner you. Higher self, inner self. Higher self, inner self. The only way Loon is going to get whatever the higher self has in store for him, according to the destiny you signed on with the Almighty, the only way you get that is if you in alignment.
Now, shouts out to African spirituality for even having that depth of knowledge. Like, people thought that at one point that African spirituality, there was a bunch of savages. Could you imagine there were people that were thinking on this level, like that there was a higher self, a lower self, and that higher self transmitted frequencies to the spirit within the body to then transmit outside. That's deep. Let's go.
The biggest thing that takes us out of alignment is character. Poor decisions. The women you laid with. The things you did wrong you had no business doing. That cuts the connection of the inner self to the higher self.
Right.
In religion, belief is
girl. They killed me with that like 2 weeks. I was like, oh my God, 2 weeks. But you know what? I said enough of that, the Carmelo Anthony stuff. I said, let me just go ahead and just go back into regular. Child, hey, what's up? You want to come up here? Come on up here if you want to. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. If anybody else want to come up and say, hey, I missed y'all. I missed you guys this whole time. I missed y'all. Did y'all miss me? I missed y'all. Okay, let's go. Keep going.
Is what matters, right? Accepting Christ as your savior.
Yes.
Accepting Muhammad as the last prophet of God, right? Accepting Moses, right? Abraham as the progenitor of the Hebrew peoples. In the world religions, belief is the foundation of spiritual success. In African spirituality, alignment with purpose. You see that? It ain't what you believe.
Right.
It's alignment with your purpose, your God-given destiny. It don't matter what you believe. Are you living it and walking
Right.
it?
It's bigger than you.
It's bigger than you.
Yeah.
It's alignment. So the bottom line is, it's almost like you got a remote control car, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Loon playing with his remote control car, the car driving all around his room, right? But if the car goes behind that laptop, you lose the connection. It's in a black spot. Your character, you making bad decisions and choices. You hit a black spot, you no longer getting that direct feed from your higher self. Yeah. Everything is about the alignment. So let me give you this piece.
So I watched the same thing on Chaotic Truth Live, and he was pretty much like acting like he didn't understand what he was saying. Makes a lot of sense to me. Okay, so you have a connection to your higher self. All right. If you are not in alignment with your higher self, the transmission leaves. That's what he's saying. So what's the big fucking deal? Let's go.
Along with that, people say, do you believe in fate? Right? If Loon is supposed to be the greatest hip hop podcaster of all time, let's say that's in your destiny. That's what you signed on. That won't be your whole destiny.
All right. So someone said something stupid as fuck. What are we doing here? All right, you know, God outranks goddess. Even in the heavens, men outrank women. No, it's equal. The masculine and feminine are equal parts of each other. There's nothing higher than it's all the same thing, you know. So I think that a lot of times we want to feel that, okay, as a man, I'm higher, I'm better, I'm whatever, right? But at the end of the day, no, women are not better than men, and men are not better than women. We are equal. Okay. It don't mean to be abusive. Well, you just don't know what you're talking about, sir. No big deal. You just don't know what you're talking about. It's okay. It requires both feminine and masculine to even create life. So, like, okay, let's keep going.
Because we come here to make this world a better place. So that's a part of it. Maybe through the podcasting, you make the world a better place. You see that. You got the income, the residuals to make the world a better place. In other words, Loon, our millionaires and billionaires. Our millionaires and billionaires, most of them don't know this because most of them are not into African spirituality. The reason you were made a billionaire is to help lift your people. The reason you were...
One thing he's saying I don't agree with is that millionaires and billionaires are not in African spirit. I think that they all are well aware. They all see babalawos. They all see sages. They all see like some level of, people that are into divination. I'm sorry. They all do that.
Made a multimillionaire is to help you flip people. Mm-hmm. Most of our millionaires think what, Loon? They think that they got rich to just enjoy their life. No, sir. Why you think God blessed you to get all this money? To buy 1 million cars? You really think God put you in this position? Right. To have 30 cars in 20 hours? Yeah. Do you follow me? Yeah. Do you really think God put you in this position to go clubbing? Right. Freaking off on the Queens every weekend, right? Yeah. No, you were given this extra income because money is energy. You were given this extra financial energy to do what? Lift the consciousness and quality of life for your people. Right. Most of our billionaires are completely missing why they were blessed with the wealth. No blessing is only for you. No blessing. That's a fact. It's only for you. If Loon walk out of here today and get a $5 million contract, you got to know, you got to be in a spiritual place to know this is not just.
Listen, I agree with that. All millionaires and billionaires are not evil, but do they know their purpose and why they are a billionaire and a millionaire? That's the thing. That's where it gets into evil shit when you think that you just got this money for nothing. So yes, there is a place what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has something they're supposed to do on this earth. So if you're put on this earth to be a millionaire, there's a reason why you have been put on this earth to be a millionaire. Let's go.
For me and my family.
Right. And responsibility comes along with that.
Exactly.
Outside of your interest.
Exactly. Yeah. When people say, why was he blessed with more money than you can spend in a lifetime? Obviously, it's not all for you if you can't spend it in a lifetime. Right. Michael Jackson is the best example, right? I think Mike may have not only been the greatest entertainer, I think Michael Jackson was the greatest philanthropist because Mike did exactly what you're supposed to do with his wealth. Think about this, Loon. Donating every dollar from a concert tour to deal with AIDS in Africa. Every dollar, Loon. Have you ever heard of that? What rapper donated every dollar to deal with a humanitarian crisis? Right. I think Michael Jackson might have been a prophet. We'll come back to that. Sticking with this point, though, Loon, Michael Jackson is an example of what a billionaire and a millionaire is supposed to do with their money. It's never just for you.
I agree. It's never just for you. It's never just to be hoarded like that they do. Elon Musk, I think they said he has like some $1 trillion, and that with his trillion, he can like give each person $1 million on this earth and still be having $1 billion left over. But will he ever, just say, hey, I'm going to give everybody $1 billion? No, you're not going to do it. So
remember, in African culture, the smallest unit of existence is the family. So you're never just a person. It's always you within the context of the community. Yes. Now, let me land this plane. You have a destiny you chose in heaven. You can achieve it. You might fail to achieve it. In the Yoruba, we say, character is destiny. No matter what great mission God gave Loon, if Loon ain't living his life right, he can fail in his mission. We are not the creators of our destiny, and we are not the victims of it. We are the co-creators. Mm-hmm. There's certain things that's going to happen in your life, whether you want them to or not, because they're necessary on your path to destiny. Right. Do you see that? There's certain bad things going to happen no matter how good or bad a person you are. There's certain good things going to happen no matter how good or bad a person you are, right? And then there's other things that are the result of your karma, which is consequences for previous actions. Yes. This I cannot change. I can't change my birth date. I can't change my death date. I can't change my mom. I can't change my dad. I can't change where I was born. You see that? These are the permanent, unchangeable aspects. But I can choose where I go to school. I can choose what woman I marry. Right. I can choose if I'm going to drink or smoke. You see that? I can choose if I'm going to.
This is what IFA principles are. So anyone that's saying that Ifa is witchcraft and this, that, the other, tell me where the witchcraft is.
Get women pregnant without being married to them, right? Yeah. I got 2 daughters out of marriage who I love to death, right? Along with my mother. That's the Trinity in my heart, right? But I chose to impregnate their mothers. You see that? The karma was the fallout that they gave me, not marrying them. You see? Now, even though I went about it the wrong way, it could have very well been a predetermined loan for whatever reason that those 2 women had to have those 2 children.
Right.
You see?
Yeah.
A part of this was my karma.
Yeah.
Another part could have been predestined.
Exactly. And sometimes I think we have to sacrifice in that way. Sometimes we're on a mission to where things are going to happen that's going to call for us to submit.
You don't believe predictions? I mean, do you ever go outside and the weather is told that, hey, it's going to be raining and you bring an umbrella? So you have more like faith in the weatherman than you have in like ancient African traditions. But that's okay. Let's go.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Oh, yes. And let me get you this.
You don't want to.
You just hit on something. The Yoruba New Year is June 6th, right? So in Yoruba land, Nigeria, the year is June 6th to June 5th. You with me? Today is 11. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We 5 days. We the first week, right?
Yeah, yep.
There's 256 energy patterns or spiritual wombs that God used to create everything in existence, right? Everything in the world came from a primordial 16, and then those 16 interacting with 16 gives you 256. Every year, Loon, there's an energy pattern that oversees or rules or influences that calendar year. You with me? The energy pattern for 2026, June 6th, 2026 to June 5th, 2027 is known as Osa Magi. Stay with me on this. Osa Magi. Osa Magi, to make it simple, because this is a very big thing,
Complex.
But I'm going to make it real simple.
Right.
Osa Magi is the energy pattern of the great invisible mothers. This is feminine energy, Loon. It is not evil, but it is in the dark. It is the energy of women, spirits, female spirits, not human beings. These are feminine spirits that God created before he even made this planet.
All right. So let's get into Osa Magi, because I saw Chaotic Truth sit up there and like make it like, oh, he's saying that there's some black women that are doing this and this and whatever. No, he's talking about a primordial essence of feminine energy, okay? Osa Magi is one of the principal Odu sacred chapters of sign in Yoruba Ifa divination tradition. It is associated with profound transformation, spiritual power, and the need for wisdom and patience when facing life challenges. Common themes, okay? Major change or transition, spiritual growth, heightened intuition, the importance of honesty, discipline, and good character, the need to avoid unnecessary conflict and pride, the value of making appropriate sacrifices. The exact interpretation is whether it appears in upright or a specific divination context. So he's talking about the IJ. So let's go in. So, I mean, if you go on to my channel, you'll hear more about the IJ and how important the IJ is in Yoruba tradition. But the bottom line is that when he talks about a feminine aspect of like the primordial, that is going into the feminine, the female. Because when people think about women, they think about women as supposed to be like docile and kind and sweet, but then there's like also a aspect of women that could be very vicious. So especially if you do something to people that they love. So all he is saying is that if you are a person that is doing the wrong thing to the people that the primordial mothers are caring about, other women, then you will have some other circumstances that like will like cause an issue. So this is not witchcraft. This is straight up like Odu. Let's go. All right, hold on, let me go back. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me share it back because so
This is feminine energy, Loon. It is not evil, but it is in the dark. It is the energy of women, spirits, female spirits, not human beings. These are feminine spirits that God created before he even made this planet. You see, their job is to oversee the balance of the universe, right and wrong. They are the overseers and the protectors of Black women, feminine energy. And for men who don't treat women well, they can destroy your life. Why am I bringing this up, Loon? For you, for me, for him, for every Black man in the world. This is not the year to be playing around with women. You hear what I'm telling you?
Mm-hmm.
You playing with this one, but she want more? Make her your queen, let her go.
Yeah.
If you're a polygamist, let her know, let her decide. This is not the year to play with the hearts, minds, and emotions of women, because this is the year of the primordial mothers. These spiritual energies will whip your ass. I'm telling you right now, if any of your homies hit you up and say, Loon, I was just in a bad car accident. Loon, I just got diagnosed with this. Loon, I just lost this, right? Loon, my wife just left me. The first thing you should ask them, how have you been treating women this year?
That's bad news for a lot of dudes.
This is not the year to be in a Mac and a player.
Right.
Because those spirits would tear you up. And guess how they hit you the most, Loon? Among other things, your internal organs. Heart problems, liver, spleen, kidney, pancreas, diabetes. You see that? Brothers start coming down with stuff this year. How you treating your women?
Right. 100%.
how are you treating your women? So what's going to happen is that if you don't treat women right in this year, based on the Odu. So what the Odu is that every situation that happens in life is birthed, right? There is a first time it happens. So when that Odu is birthed, there was a first time that anything ever happened on earth, right? There was a first time that domestic abuse happened in earth. There was a first time that cheating happened on earth. There was a first time, and so that's called it's a timestamp. And so with that timestamp comes a name behind that timestamp. There was a first time that metal came on the earth. There was a first time that railroads came, and so that timestamp has an actual fingerprint on the earth, right? It has an actual date, a number, a name. So within Yoruba culture, whenever anything comes into being, it's an Odu. So a Odu is pretty much like the womb gives birth to it, right? So that means that the womb gives birth to it, and then therefore there is a real and true scientific pattern that thing has. So what he's saying is that the Odu that's happening right now, that is birth right now, is calling out all those things that were negative that were giving birth during that time. So if you're doing anything bad or to hurt somebody, you're gonna go through it. So because
the mothers rule this year.
And you're
this is also a year
did something to you, ain't nobody did shit to you. You just
more than ever
right.
before. Because this is going to be a year of tragedies, crises. You follow me? Unexpected, unforeseen events that you could have never expected or planned for. You follow me? There's going to be a lot of loss. This is going to be a challenging year. Not for the sake of negative. I'm about to tell you.
Yeah.
Not for the sake of negative. In order for there to be a transformation on earth, in order for there to be a transformation in Black America, in order for there to be a transformation in the African race, God has to do what? Clean out all that no longer serves the agenda. This is a cleansing loon. Let me give you a metaphor. Hold on. Let me give you this metaphor. A woman's menstrual cycle. When that egg travels down the fallopian tube to die, right? That egg is going to kill itself. It's going to commit suicide, right? And then the woman got to bleed. She got to bleed all in her system that no longer serves her. Now, you know, our women don't like going through that menstrual, do they? They get cramps. Right. They get pain. It's a lot of pain. Right. It's a lot of blood. It's a lot of death. But guess what? Once it's over, a new egg is there. A new life begins. This loom isn't punishment for the sake of punishment. This is the cleansing before the transformation and the rebirth. Will you survive the cleansing? That's the question to Black men. Will you survive this year of cleansing? Because the next year will probably be a transformation or a rebirth. If you that's stuck in your sin, where you cannot repent before the Almighty, you cannot change your ways, you might not make it to June 6, 2027.
You know, I was talking to my homeboy too yesterday, watching the NBA playoffs. I was telling him, there's a young man, I think he was on the Spurs because they blew an outrageous lead. I think they was up by 27 and they let the New York Knicks come back. Even though I'm dating this episode, I hate doing that because people discover your interviews years and years, right? So I like to keep it like fresh, but nonetheless, the young guy made several mistakes that kind of led to the opportunity for them to come back, speaking to New York.
Chain of events.
And I was talking to my friend, I was like, now I see all of the media going at him. And I understand that pressure now that I'm in media and I'm a part of this thing of ours. I say, that little dude is probably dealing with a lot and is swiping his confidence by the hour. Like he'll never be able to, at least for the rest of this season, if he bites into this, it affects him in a way that he renders himself useless. So I said to myself, one thing he has to do, and I think that can redeem himself, if he repent. And I mean, if he come out and say, yo, I know I made some couple bad decisions at it'll never happen again. You know, we putting that behind us. We going to the next level. I'm still with my team. We still in this thing. Like, but I think hiding and ducking and it just makes you live with that energy. So I think there is something to repenting and admitting mistakes. It opens
up your spiritual road.
Exactly.
Right. So repentance is very important. If you have any issues with any women in your life, I mean, I get it. People don't believe what he's saying, but I know for a fact that's true. If you have any issues with any women, okay, baby mamas, grandma, whatever, go ahead and make amends.
You have to block. Not only the two biggest things that block your path to your blessings and your destiny are a lack of repentance. And what is the heart of non-repentance, Loon? The heart of non-repentance is arrogance.
Ego. I will finish that. Yeah.
It's arrogance.
Yes.
You see that?
Yes.
Ego is the mind. Arrogance is the mindset. You see that? I'm too arrogant. Kevin Hart with the Netflix roast. I know we'll get to it. He's too arrogant to repent before Black folks, but had no problem humbling himself before white folks doing their jokes. But we'll get to that. So stay with me, Loon. So the two biggest things that block.
So it's both. So see, here's the thing: is that when people I'm sorry, as a man or woman or both, see, like people really get it mixed up. If you have any issues with any feminine energy, people need to repent, apologize, make amends, and move forward. So if you have a problem with your grandma, your mom, then this is a time of repentance, because if you don't, then that energy can like follow you throughout this year, and then it will cause havoc in your life. Why? Because this is a time of like, sometimes, you know, they have a thing called Mercury retrograde. That's when they like say, well, then, you know, everything's kind of going backwards, like, you know, for like communication. So when you're trying to communicate things, like it'll make you go back over the stuff that you didn't do right, you know? So it's similar in Ifa, where it might be a thing where, okay, go back to your loved ones. It might not be Mercury retrograde, but it might be like, mama retrograde. You know what I'm saying? Go back to your any women that you have any issues with and like repent. So things you have to correct. Exactly. Why not? What's the problem? What's wrong with going back and saying, you know what, I apologize for that. About a year ago I did this. Why? Clean the slate off. Like, just don't go into the next year with whatever, like, what you might have done to hurt another person. So apologize. No big deal.
Us on an open path of destiny. The inability to repent and the inability to forgive.
Right.
Repent, admit,
forgive, and repent. So if you're holding on to like something to where you just can't forgive that person, forgive them, or repent if you did something against them. So if they did something against you, forgive them. If you did something against them, repent. Like, I apologize. And then really mean it and really like move forward. And then guess what? It doesn't even take that really much to understand that whatever you do is going to like make you feel better. Because you've been thinking about this. This thing's been in the back of your mind weighing. You know that it makes you feel heavy. So when you let it go, it makes you feel better. No big deal.
I'm wrong.
Yes.
Forgiveness. Acknowledge that they could have made a mistake. You see that? No matter how bad it was, they still human. When I sit down and do life coaching, and when I do therapy, when I'm dealing with somebody who's a sex abuse survivor, right? We don't have to start here, but I tell them, male or female or child, at some point, you're going to have to forgive the person who did this to you in order to move on with your life. Your inability to forgive blocks the flow of energy. Within that flow are your blessings. The biggest problem, Loon, in our arrogance, we are blind to the fact forgiveness has nothing to do with letting them off the hook. You don't even have to tell them you forgave them. Forgiveness is to free up your soul so you can continue on your path.
I do want to start somewhere, though, that is pressing on Black America. There's a lot of people speaking about it. I want to start with the Carmelo Anthony case.
Yes, sir.
To me, it feels bigger than a courtroom. There's a young Black man that's convicted and there's a white young man that's dead. The family is grieving. The internet is divided, and Black parents are looking at this, wondering, how do we protect our sons? Did you have a chance to look at the case, and what do you feel about, we'll get to the sentencing. Let's deal with the verdict first. What do you feel about the verdict?
What did you say before that? We'll get to the
sentencing.
The sentencing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. First of all, I want to say this. Caucasian nation, the good white folks of America, are so disingenuous. And the reason I say Caucasian nation is so disingenuous, Loon, is because when Black people receive an unfair trial, we are supposed to respect the verdict. But when white people feel that they haven't received a fair trial, they don't have to respect the verdict. The other thing that makes Caucasian nation so disingenuous, Loon, is they always like to treat every Black case in its own special vacuum. In other words, when we talk about Carmelo Anthony, we can't talk about the man who took Trayvon Martin's life.
George
Zimmerman. You can't put it in context.
Can't mix it.
We can't talk about Rick Child, who took Cyrus Carmack Belton's life. We can't talk about Kyle Rittenhouse getting off, Rick Child getting off. Daniel Penny choked a man out in a New York subway and got off on standing his ground, and the man never touched him. The reason white society, Caucasian nation, doesn't like black people to discuss our legal lynchings in context, because if you put it in context, Loon, you cannot come to any other decision that there are two standards of justice in this country.
All right. So I mean, makes sense here. So let's hear about like he said something about the primordial mothers. I want to like get into that real quick. Let's see.
Jury. The grand jury decided Carmelo would be charged with murder. Who's on the grand jury, Loon? You don't know. It's a secret. I want you to see how white supremacy operates behind the scenes. You can't challenge the grand jury, Loon, because you don't even know who they are.
Right.
So the people who decided this 17-year-old would be charged with murder are complete secrets. And you and I both know they all white. Are you with me? So first, deal with the grand jury. Him being charged with murder was a crime in and of itself.
So what do you say about the
Let
event?
me give you one more. You're moving too fast.
Go ahead.
Hold on. In Texas, if you're 17, you're automatically tried as an adult. Grand jury had no control over that. Are you with me?
Yes.
He was 17. He's automatically tried as an adult, but he doesn't automatically have to be indicted with murder. That could have been aggravated, right? Manslaughter.
Right.
There's a whole list of crimes they could have went with.
So you're saying he should have been charged, just not with the first degree murder or whatever. Was it first degree?
He didn't have to be charged at all.
So
This could have been self-defense.
a white young boy body drops, and you think he should not have been charged.
The reason you labeled it a white boy is you're putting it within the context of the racism of American society. Let me flip
Oh man, this is
it around for you, Loon. If two 210 pound football players, black football players, walk up to a 135 pound black boy, grab him by the hoodie, put him in a headlock, try to jump him and stomp him out, and that white boy unintentionally stabs him, or he falls onto the white boy's knife, which is what we believe happened. Okay? Austin fell onto Carmelo's knife trying to attack him because the knife is 3.5 inches. The cut was only 2. Loon, if I'm stabbing you, why am I going halfway with a knife blade that's only 3.5 inches? You fell onto my knife. Regardless, Loon, do you really think those two black boys who fell on that white boy's knife are going to get convicted of murder in 35 years?
No.
Do you think they even get indicted with murder?
That's a fact. No,
You
I
know they don't. You know
Yeah.
why? Because there's the case of another boy by the name of Kason Allison. Have you heard of him?
No.
Same year, same state.
Former Belton High student Kason Allison was sentenced today to the maximum 10 years in prison for the fatal stabbing of fellow student Joe Ramirez.
This comes after a jury found Allison guilty of criminally negligent homicide, and a judge added a deadly weapon enhancement to his potential sentence. 6 News reporter Sydney Walker was in the courtroom for today's sentencing and has the latest.
Nearly 3 years after Joe Ramirez died, the man who stabbed him will spend a decade behind bars. Judge Wade Faulkner sentenced Allison to 10 years in confinement in the institutional division. This comes after 9 witnesses testified, including the mothers of both Ramirez and Allison, school employees who responded to the stabbing, and Allison's therapist. 3 Belton ISD staff members described lasting trauma from that day: sleepless nights, anxiety, and PTSD. One teacher said the incident forced her into medical retirement. Joe's family tearfully shared how his loss has changed their lives and say they haven't received true justice.
man, this is sad on both ends, everything. So I wanted to see the part where he talks about like Carmelo Anthony and the primordial mothers
And slaughter. I don't believe he did that to help Carmelo. He did that to make sure Carmelo didn't walk like Rick Child Mean in Columbia, South Carolina. You see that?
Yeah.
Rick Child, the jury was given no instruction to consider a lesser charge. Find him guilty of murder or he walks. They did it on purpose. It was a setup. First of all, both cases were setups, and we'll get to Cyrus Carmack Belton later.
Yes.
With Carmelo Anthony's case, Judge Cockroach told the jury they could consider manslaughter, Loon, not to help Carmelo get a lesser charge, to make sure Carmelo wouldn't be acquitted.
And I believe that there's definitely strategy involved with all things when you get into that court.
Strategy? How about, okay, Mike Howard is the lead attorney for Carmelo Anthony, right? Caucasian Mike Howard. And then he's working with another Caucasian on the defense team, right? By the name of Toby. Toby is friends with and used to work in the same office as the prosecutor for the state. Let me ask you a question, Lon. Do you really believe that an attorney for Carmelo Anthony, black boy on trial for his life, has worked for years with the prosecutor prosecuting his client? Look at his loom. The man prosecuting your client is your friend. And you mean to tell me they wasn't sharing notes? You mean to tell me there wasn't a game plan? You mean to tell me that this wasn't a setup for the beginning? First of all, if I'm talking to Mike Howard, the lead attorney for Carmelo, why was Toby an additional defense attorney on Carmelo's case?
Only a baboon would defend a murderer. Or only an idiot would like come and call me a baboon when they know that I can like get rid of them off my channel. So delete. All right. So this is interesting. This whole live stream. Oh my God. So he says why. Umar, let's go.
Saw that there's no way a child could go under a tent and know ahead of time that two white boys are going to come over there to jump him. Him having a knife, it's a complete contradiction for Caucasian nation to say, why did he have a knife? You walk around with guns every day. When you put your gun on your hip this morning, did you do it with the intent to kill anybody? Loon! These white people fight for the right to carry a gun out the house every day. Did you leave your house with the intent to take a life with that gun? No, you didn't. So why are you going to say this little black boy left his house with the intent to shank somebody with a 3-inch blade? Loon, do you really think a 5'8", 135-pound kid armed only with a 3.5-inch knife? Listen to this. Do you really think a 5'8", 135-pound child whose only weapon is a 3.5-inch knife, Loon, do you really think he wants to take a chance and fight two football players who don't have any weapons? Person scared.
So, I mean, that is what he had to say. That you know, it is what it is so far. I'm just playing what Umar Johnson had to say. What's the big deal? That dude is crazy. So Carmelo is a piece of shit. Anyone who thinks he's innocent, okay. All right. So I wanted to get back into E5. I'm gonna play like a little bit more of this, but you know, Umar being an Ifa priest, I think he gets into some extra stuff. Let's go.
In deciding how we deal with him.
Austin Metcalf's father has shown himself to be someone out now that the gag order is lifted. He's been really doing a lot of ranting. And so he's been saying some things
He's
to
letting
me.
you know how he really feels.
Yeah, it been saying some interesting things to me. Also, when they did the victim impact statement, he looked at Carmelo and he said, "Look at me." He like demanded that Carmelo look at him, and Carmelo wouldn't look at him. And then he said something about, "You will stab my son, but you won't look at me." And he proceeded on the victim impact statement stuff. And Carmelo never said nothing. I think they were underdeveloped in their approach as the defense.
What you're saying is the defense.
Yes.
Carmelo's family and team.
Yes.
Were not properly prepared.
Yeah, and I think they were too arrogant. They thought they were going to win this for whatever reason, but they had Carmelo's team. It was so many people you could have pulled from. You could have got the private investigator. You could have got people.
No, I don't believe they felt them. I don't think they were arrogant. I don't think they were arrogant. I think they they were really. I think they were blindsided when they saw how that lawyer handled that case and didn't do shit. They were probably having meetings like, what the fuck is going on? And then when the final verdict came through, they're like, what the hell? There's no way. I mean, if it was my daughter, I'd be like, man, what? Why ain't you saying nothing? Like, I'm sure, like me with my own daughter, like, honey, she could have stabbed somebody in the eye. I don't give a fuck. Like, that's my daughter. Like, why ain't you protecting her? Whatever. You know what I'm saying? No. Hell no. My daughter? Hell
Come up that explains certain things, even after the verdict.
But remember what Carmelo's father said in his defense. He said he went to black attorneys and they told him to go with Mike Howard. You see this? So Carmelo's mother and father, Loon, did their part. They consulted with black attorneys, and the black attorneys were too afraid to fight for Carmelo. You see that? And they wasn't just afraid for their safety, Loon. They was afraid to lose money from future white clients. Everybody is guilty in Carmelo's conviction. We all played a role in that. From the mindset they have about black males, hip-hop artists, you guilty. Black people being colorblind, all white jury. Do you know there was a black woman, I don't know who she was. They interviewed her outside the courthouse, Loon, and guess what she said? They said, do you think Carmelo could get a fair trial with an all-white jury? She said, I believe they can. She said, I even know the judge. He's a good man. This a black woman, Loon. Blue, black, purple, chocolate, beautiful queen.
Oh, man.
Yes, because remember, after Barack Obama, color don't matter no more. See that?
Did you see how black people was acting outside of the courthouse? And we'll move off Carmelo after this. Outside of the courthouse, there were racial tensions are high in America right now.
Always have been. And I'm going to say thank you, Donald Trump. Thank you, Donald Trump.
So you want
Thank you, Donald Trump. Let me tell you why.
Tell me.
No, I did not vote for him. I never would.
No, but you
I don't
want,
like him. I don't respect him. I don't support him. What Donald Trump did, and I need you to hear me. What Donald Trump did is he made it comfortable for white people to tell black people publicly what they think of you again. This is important, Loon, in order for us to raise our racial consciousness. Because we have been brainwashed by black religion to not see color, it's going to take our enemy to show us they racist. You see that? Thank you, Donald Trump, for letting these be again. Because only under this type of a circumstance are you going to get the truth.
Right.
I mean, he ain't told no lies since.
All them black people who went crazy for Palestine, I haven't seen a Palestinian American march yet for Carmelo Anthony. I haven't seen a Palestinian American march yet for Cyrus Carmack Belton. Where are all these groups? Where's the migrant protest on behalf of Carmelo Anthony? Where's the migrant protest on behalf of Cyrus Carmack Belton? We fight for everybody else. They never fight for us. And that's why I'm saying here and now, multiculturalism is dead with me. It been dead with me. I never supported it. And I only fight for black people. I will never mistreat nobody else. I will never mistreat nobody from another race. But guess what? When I fight for me alone. Black first. Black first.
You gotta respect it. Also, Doc, there's another thing happening. We've hit on it a little bit, but before we get to the child thing, there's another character, Jake Long. Have you heard of him?
Who's Jake Long?
Jake Long, I think. Jake Lang. I'm sorry. He was outside of the Carmelo Anthony's courthouse. He's one of the people that actually got arrested for terroristic threats because he said white.
Carmelo Anthony should be swinging from a tree outside this courthouse. Carmelo Anthony should be swinging from a tree outside this courthouse. Carmelo Anthony should be hanging from a tree. He wants to reestablish race relations in this country so that we can get along.
Because he said that if the jury doesn't get this right, I'll handle it myself.
A white guy.
White guy standing out. I mean, he was in people. This is what I'm saying.
You said he was arrested.
He was arrested on terroristic threats, so he's in jail as we speak. He's also been known to hype up and be a great supporter of Chud the Builder, which we'll get to them responding to some of the things that you said as well. But
I don't see what the problem. Listen, shouts out to Umar Johnson. He spoke the truth. I don't care if nobody likes me. But I want to get back into Ifa, because let's go into what the real true beliefs in Ifa is. Let's go.
100 lessons Ifa taught me after initiation, part infinity. Ifa is a closed practice, but not for the reason most people assume. I'm Nitty the Serpent Sage. Drop Ifa in the comments and I'll send you a resource that explains some of this clearly. Closed doesn't mean excluded. Closed means initiatory. It means knowledge moves through lineage. Training, apprenticeship, responsibility, not through casual access. Because Ifa is not just a philosophy, it's divination mathematics, an axiom of philosophies, ritual protocol, ancestral technology, spiritual governance. And if those things aren't handled correctly, people can cause harm, even with good intentions. This is why the tradition protects its knowledge, within structures that ensure the person receiving it is prepared to hold it responsibly. Closed does not mean people are rejected from it. It means people must be prepared. And readiness is built through humility, apprenticeship, correction, time, not through desire, and not through curiosity, not through conviction that you're already ready, through the actual work of becoming prepared. If you're feeling called into this tradition and you want to know what actual preparation looks like, I have digital resources that can help you with that. In my profile, I have readings that I can introduce you to my Babalao if you're ready for that. And I also have one-to-one consultations available if you DM me, because I do not reach out first. Make sure you also like, share, and follow for more. With peace, ease, and grace, may you flow and feel whole.
Everybody wants Ifa until they realize what it actually requires. 5 signs that you're not ready for Ifa. Number 1, you only want blessings and not discipline. If you think Ifa is only about love, money, and protection, but you don't want to follow your taboos or live in alignment, you're not ready. Number 2, you question everything, but you don't want to study anything. You want to challenge the priest, the tradition, the Orisha, but you don't want to open up a book. You don't want to learn the Odu. You don't want to study the tradition. You're not ready. Number 3, you're spiritually impatient. You don't practice suru, patience. You want fast results. Ifa is not fast food. It is a lifelong commitment. And if you can't take that, you're not ready. Number 4, you're not ready for sacrifice. And I don't mean Ebo. I mean habits, ego, attachments. If you can't let those go, you're not ready. And number 5, you want aesthetics and not transformation. You want the beads, you want the white clothes, you want the titles, but you don't want the transformation or the commitment that comes with it. You're not ready, my friend. Ifa will elevate you, but it'll also expose you. So ask yourself, am I ready for the elevation and the exposure? Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Be safe out here in these Ifa streets. Asheo.
I was on the mat for Ifa, and my ancestors filled that room and were like, "You may not leave Christianity." Right? And my Oluwa was like, "What is happening?" Because there was a whole spiritual experience that happening for me in the physical realm. And they came and they sat on that mat with me and were like, "This is right. This is correct. What you may not do is go home and think you only do this." Welcome to your destiny, baby. Right. You know,
I think that's really important what you said, because what I've noticed is that people treat Ifa as though it's a religion. It's not a religion.
Yeah, it's a
and
tradition.
so it's a spiritual tradition. Actually, I want to take it back. It's a science. In this country, we are calling it a religion or a spiritual practice. It is a science. It is a deep African science, and it is not in conflict with someone's religious beliefs. I think we have to be clear about that. That's number 1.
I want to talk about the dangers of wearing Ifa bead. This is Ifa bead. the dangers of wearing it. A lot of people these days are wearing this Ifa bead without proper initiation, which can be dangerous. Before we started wearing this Ifa bead, it's because of the initiation that we have undergone. And there is an agreement between Orumila and death that make Orumila to mandate and command all his children to wear it. There are consequences of wearing this Ifa bead without a proper initiation. Yesterday, I was in the market. Now, I now saw a lady that was wearing this Ifa bead. Now, and I greeted this lady traditionally, just the way we greet. I said, Aboru boye. She was looking at me. I said, Aboru boye. She was looking at me. And I said, were you initiated into Ifa? She said, yes, I'm initiated into Ifa. That is why I have this bead. I said, okay. I said, what is the name of your Odu Ifa? She asked me, what is Odu Ifa? I said, the name of your Odu, your spiritual sign, what is the name? He said he doesn't know what is spiritual sign. And I said, what is the name of your Oluwo? She said he doesn't know what is Oluwo. What is the name of your Ojugbono? She doesn't know. Now she opened up to me and told me that she has not been initiated into Ifa. It's just that people told her that when you wear it, it brings good luck. I say, yes. Ifa bead brings good luck only to the children of Orumila. When you are initiated into Ifa, you will be introduced into the 16 elders, like the 16 spirits that support this tradition. That is when you will qualify to wear this. There is a time when death was killing people anyhow. Now, Orumila now had an agreement with death to ensure that all his children will wear this. And when the children wear this, death will pass over them, except they are the one that committed atrocity that made death to come. If you are wearing it without initiation, there is a lot of consequences. It is even better for you to wear white bead. Why white bead is beneficial to you more than this is your ori, your leather, your chi, or your ese is connected to white. No matter who you are in this planet, your chi is always connected to white because Obatala is the king of white. Ogbemeji is the head of all Odu. Obatala is the head and the king of all Ori. So your Ori, your leather, your ese is connected to Obatala, which their color is white. So when you wear white, white is more beneficial for you. White will open doors for you. If you wear yellow, yellow is beneficial because yellow is a symbol or color of Oshun, which brings attraction and money. White, again, another type of white and silver is Oloku. Blue is Yemoja. All these things are cool spirits. Yemoja is a water spirit. Oshun is a water spirit. Oloku is a water spirit. Then Obatala is the king of white. All these colors that goes with white, yellow, and blue, they are beneficial because they are cool spirits. They are symbol of cool spirits. But when you wear this, or when you wear red and black is the color of Eshu. When you wear it, Eshu will be throwing misfortune to you because Eshu is the spiritual policeman to ensure that the tradition is being kept. Please, don't wear this without a proper initiation. I'm not saying it because I'm initiated. I'm saying it because of you. When that girl told me yesterday, and I started telling him the consequences of wearing this and the bad misfortune that comes, at the end of the day, we discovered that the misfortune that the girl is passing through is as a result of wearing this ignorantly. And I told her the type of sacrifice and ritual that she will do, which is in my office right now to do it. Please don't wear this with ignorance. Don't wear this unnecessary. Don't wear this without initiation. It is dangerous. I know that it is just red bead, green bead, and brown bead, but there is a lot of it. Color has a way of influencing our life. I know most people that wear it, they wear it without consecration, but even without consecration, it is still dangerous to wear without initiation because whenever you wear it, you are deceiving death. And when death finds out that you are not a child of Orumila, it becomes worsened for you. If you wear it, you'll be getting promise. And for when we say death in traditional spirituality, death is not only when you die. Death means separation. It means divorce. It means darkness. It means an opening to witches and wizards. A word is enough for the wise.
Ifa. Ifa, which is the spiritual system of the Yoruba peoples of Nigeria. Voodoo is a cousin system.
Okay.
Similar but different. You feel me?
Yeah.
But that's still within the family of African spirituality. Unfortunately, because of the propaganda against voodoo,
right,
and because of some practitioners in voodoo who have used divine magic for evil purposes, voodoo has gotten a bad name. Right. But I want you to understand something, my good sister, my good brother. The white man has intentionally demonized and criminalized voodoo because he's afraid of it.
Right.
And why is he afraid of it? Because it was voodoo that our Haitian African brothers and sisters used to give us the first independent free black republic in the Western Hemisphere when they won the Haitian Revolution against Napoleon, the white man's greatest general. Napoleon was defeated by an army of slaves.
And he fought for 13 years, right?
Indeed.
Yeah, that's a hell of a
So the
fight.
white man don't ever want no black person practicing voodoo because he don't control it. Religions are instruments of control.
Yeah. Yeah.
The best way to control the people is to make them think God wants them to do things a certain way. If I can convince you God wants you to do this, I never have to worry about arresting you. Religion is the best thing that happened to white supremacy.
Ifa is the voice of Oludumare, the supreme creator. Ifa is a guide to life, love, business, career, wealth, friendship, parenting, spirituality, and more. Ifa is the oracle we consult during Ifa divination. The 256 corpus of Ifa called Odu contain philosophy, spirituality, science, medicine, law, sociology, psychology, and all aspects of life. The binary system is based on Ifa. Orumila is the father of Ifa and one of the Irumale or divinities entrusted by Oludumare to set up life on earth. Ifa divination originates in Yoruba land in present-day Nigeria and is a system of signs interpreted by the Babalawo or Ifa priest. Ifa divination is open to both initiates and non-initiates. Ifa initiation is a positively intense and life-changing rebirthing of the individual, which arms the new initiate with his or her guide to life, including Odu, taboos, and destiny. Ifa initiates and devotees who receive the first hand of Ifa are given the consecrated energy of Ifa, Ikinfa, the sacred palm nuts, which serve as a communication portal between the devotee, Oludumare, Ifa, and the Orisha. In this case, Ifa also becomes the ears of Oludumare. Ifa is life. Ifa is my truth. Ifa is on the rise. Ifa is unstoppable. May the light of Ifa illuminate your Ori and lead you towards fulfilling your destiny. Ashe.
Welcome to the panel. Voodoo and Voodoo. Welcome to the panel.
Yes, thanks for having me up. This is Hoodoo in Louisiana Voodoo. It'll be brief. Actually, I've been on here before under my other page, Mulatto. I think you might remember me, but it'll be brief. Have you heard about the Supreme Court ending the TPS for Haitians and Syrians?
No, I haven't.
Yes. Well, the Supreme Court just ruled that the TPS for the Haitians has expired, and I think by July 1st they all got to go, or they will be subjected to mass deportations. And really, this is the time. Speaking about the Orishas and the
Wait. You're saying that all the Haitians have to leave the country?
if they are here illegally, yes, or they will be subjected to mass deportations if they don't leave on their own. I
Why?
thought you might have heard about this because the TPS, the temporary protected status, has expired for them and
Even the ones that
Syrians.
were here enslaved, because there were Haitians that were enslaved. and
Where?
that came to Africa. It came to America that fought in the Revolutionary War. So which ones are going to have to go back?
All right, the Haitians that you're speaking about that came to the U.S., it was less than 5,000 of them, and they have blended with the rest of descendants of U.S. chattel slaves. Or in other words, you can't point out one Haitian whose ancestors are entirely Haitian and their family was in the U.S. before the American Revolution. You cannot do it because it does not exist.
So do you agree that they should be like removed?
Which ones?
Haitians, period.
No,
Should they like
are you because the ones you just brought up are ones whose families and lineages has been blended with
yeah,
descendants
there
of
are
U.S.
there are a lot of like people that a lot of Haitians that are actual, their families, they were brought over here in like the 1800s during the Revolutionary War to fight the war.
Yeah,
And
those Haitians that you're speaking about that came over in the 1800s, they have blended with descendants of U.S. chattel slaves as far as their lineage. So they're not pure Haitians. You know that,
okay,
right?
so you're saying the ones that they're like sending back are like pure Haitians, and they
Yes, the ones that
are you
came to the
saying they
U.S.
need to
illegally.
so they
The
need to leave, or what's your stance on that? Do you think they need to
Yeah,
leave?
they definitely need to leave and go fix Haiti for sure. Really, they have their own country. They got to fix it up. Really, and I say that with love. But you can't allow your house to be in turmoil while you come to the U.S. and run to the U.S. to live underneath the white man. No, that's not honorable at all.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I'm just saying that
All right.
respectfully.
So do you have anything to say about voodoo
Yeah,
and
that's what I was attempting to
no
get to that
like
part.
not about like the Haitians. I want about the religion. The
Yeah,
religion.
I'm speaking about voodoo right now. Yes. All of us need to use our ancestral practices to improve.
No. I want you to
I'm talking about voodoo right now.
no. I want you to tell like what do you know about the ancient voodoo practices of Haiti,
Oh, of Haiti? I thought you said don't talk about Haiti. But let's talk about
or
Haiti.
or
Now
or
we know
voodoo.
about I'm trying to answer your question, sis, please. Now
No,
we do
so
know
this is a very spiritual discussion, and you're talking about like the. So where are we going?
well, I'm trying to go where you asked me to go.
I want you to talk about the practices of what is voodoo. Tell the story of voodoo.
Exactly. Now you don't want me to talk about Haitian voodoo, right? You just said you did, but
No,
you
go
don't.
ahead. You can yeah, Haitian voodoo.
Thank you. Now, the Haitians utilize Haitian voodoo, which is distinct from Louisiana voodoo. Let me just say that for the record. But the Haitians, they use Haitian voodoo to defeat their French colonists. But somewhere along the line, they picked up the practices of Catholicism and they abandoned hoodoo, pardon me, they abandoned voodoo, and that motivated them to give up on fixing Haiti. And they ran to Canada, they ran to the U.S., they ran to France, it's Haitians all over the world that ran away. But if they revert back to their ancestral Haitian voodoo practices, this will motivate them to actually want to fix Haiti because it is a beautiful country.
Have you been to Haiti?
Definitely, as a humanitarian, I went down there with a. At the time, ironically enough, I went down there with a HBCU. We went to Port-au-Prince, and we gave out different supplies, such as sanitary wipes, um,
All right. So
menstrual
what do you think
pads.
that? All right. So let's
All
go
right, go ahead.
into the religion of hoodoo. Voodoo. Do you believe
Yes,
that it's an evil religion?
of course not. I practice Louisiana voodoo myself.
No. Haitian.
I'm not
They say
Haitian, so that's not my culture.
that Haitian voodoo is evil.
You're saying Haitian voodoo is evil?
People are saying. I'm not saying it.
I'm not saying it either. I'm saying they need to practice Haitian voodoo and stay in Haiti and fix Haiti. They need to use the Haitian voodoo to fix Haiti. That's all I'm saying. If they practiced Haitian voodoo, it would have been no way that a Colombian or a group of Colombians would have been able to kill the president of Haiti because he would have been protected. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Yes, it's the truth. I don't know why you pretending to be confused.
Well, I'm not pretending to be anything. I just
All
wanted to
right.
like see what you had to say. You know, are you done?
Well, I thought we was having a dialogue. It's more I could say though.
Well, no, I mean, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. Yes. Also, I want to say, and this is not just about Haiti. This is about all people of indigenous African descent. It's best that we practice our own culture. I mean, when we go to the continent of Africa, the majority of the people there are practicing European Christianity and Arabian Islam. This is disgraceful, really. We have our own practices. When you go to Arabia, they're not practicing Ifa. They're not practicing voodoo because they have pride in themselves as Arabians. We should have pride in ourselves as people of African descent. We have our own cultures, really. And I'll say this in closing, just so I'm not long-winded. Us being enamored by these foreign religions has motivated us to open the doors of our communities and the doors of our countries to foreigners because we are enamored by them. In other words, when we pray to a white Jesus, that motivates us to open the door for white people to come into our house and take over. Really.
All right, so I want to like to go through the 16 truths of Ifa. All right, so let's go into the 16 truths. All right, so the 16 truths of Ifa.
Oh, please. I'm sorry, and I apologize for cutting you off. How you feel about white babalaos though? Because we failing with that.
I
I
have
see
no, no I
you
have
had a
no
white
problem.
babalao on your show. That's
I have
crazy.
no problem. I have no problem with white babalaos.
You have no problem with a
No,
white babalao in an African religion.
no, I don't.
Can you realize that this is a manifestation of your own self-hate? How you gonna have a white babalao teaching you to pray to your ancestors? They not even his ancestors. How that makes sense?
Well, the white babalao has African ancestors.
How you figure?
He outlined who his ancestors were from Egypt. So
From Egypt? Ifa don't come from Egypt?
it does.
No, it don't.
It comes
Ifa
from
come
now.
from European people.
No, it comes from the Nile Valley, sweetheart.
Can you genetically prove that?
Yes, I can.
Have you taken a DNA test?
Yes, I can.
No, I'm asking, have you taken a DNA test?
Yes, I have.
All right, do you have Egyptian ancestry?
I have Nile Valley. I have.
Checkmate. Do you have Egyptian ancestry?
No. Listen, you don't get to like say checkmate. I have. What bottom line is that I have. What they call like Nubian. So bottom line, Nubian come from the bottom of the Nile over into Yoruba. And anyone that understands what the Nubian culture is, they understand that whole like area on the lower region of the Nile, the Nubians actually like went throughout the lower regions into West Africa. I forget what the names of, probably not the Nubian, but what they call I can't think of it right now. It's the right now I can't think of it. What is it called? What are the people that came from the lower regions? I can't think of it. But if you were in like those lower regions of like the Nile, those people migrated from the lower regions of the Nile over into West Africa. So he's saying checkmate. No, sir.
You're wrong, respectfully. Do you realize that the Yoruba people are Niger Congo people and the Nubians are Nilotic people? They are genetically different. They are not the same. Checkmate. So the focal point is if you don't have any Yoruba ancestry, how can you be a Babalawo in a Yoruba religion? Simple question. How you got a white Babalawo with no Yoruba ancestry? Really? When you go to the
Anyone,
ancestry realm, you gonna see some white people.
anyone that knows, there is in Ifa will tell you that they actually have connections to the Nile Valley.
That's post colonization.
Based on what? So based
Based on
on
colonization.
who said that?
The white man told you that Egypt was
What
more
white
important.
man? What white man? No, no, no.
Your white Babalawo. Your white
No, sir.
Babalawo.
No, sir. There
Your
are
white Babalawo.
no. You can repeat it all you
Respectfully.
want.
You asked me a question. Did you hear the answer? I'm not trying to argue.
Yeah, you're repeating it over. No, you're arguing.
But did you hear the answer?
It doesn't matter what the fuck the answer is.
You're triggered by the truth.
No, you're being a bitch, okay? Because I told you is that I could show you actual evidence that shows that the Yoruba people came from that region. So people most people said they came from the Somalian region over to there were different sects of Yoruba. They came. So there was Yoruba people that were there. There were also it's a threefold story. You have some people that came from the oh my god, I can't remember. My brain was not even ready for this conversation. But the Nubians that had came over into Nigeria, they were not originally from there. But you also had Nigerians that were from there. So I don't know why you want to like do this whole checkmate thing. In your mind, you think you're getting me. No. I can show you exactly in the documents that I've read where it talks about the Nubians that came from not some Sudan to Ile Ife. The Nubians, okay, that came from Sudan to Ile Ife. So, but I mean, if you don't practice the tradition, you might not have heard the story. But I don't understand why it's a point of like no, sir. Let me go get my book. I don't even like to play shit. Like I don't play this shit. People come on my platform trying to be on something. Checkmate. Checkmate. This is the book right here. If you want to look into, it's called Yoruba Concepts. Okay? Right here. See this? Book is right there.
Yes, and respectfully, it sounds like you have acid reflux. You might want to drink some water.
It sounds like to me like you need to get the fuck up off my fucking channel and kiss my fucking ass. Let me bring up, because I hate when people come up on my thing trying to tell me I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. If you ever heard of the knock culture, right? All right, hold on. Sheikh Anta Diop proclaims, right? Let me go into it. Oludumare. All right, so now this is on page 2, a handbook of Yoruba religious concepts. Sheikh Anta Diop proclaims the Yoruba during antiquity lived in ancient Egypt before migrating to the Atlantic coast. This is in this book right here. Boom. Listen. So you see how a motherfucker will come on my channel and try to challenge me on what the fuck I know. Let me do this right quick. It's called Yoruba Religious Concepts. For those that can't see the book, right here. See this? Oh, I feel like you got like some acid reflux. No, I got nigga reflux. Okay? I can't stand niggas that try to come and tell me what the fuck I know. Okay? Sheikh Anta Diop. All right? One of the foremost African archaeologists talks about where the Yoruba people come from. Okay? Stop playing with me. Playing your playpen, brother. Playing your playpen, sir. Got me fucked up. I don't know who you think you're talking to, sir. It says, Sheikh Anta Diop proclaims, all right, this is on page 2. The Yoruba during antiquity lived in ancient Egypt before migrating to the Atlantic coast. He uses a demonstration, the similarity or identity of languages, religious beliefs, or focus in respect to Yoruba religion evolution is that the Egyptian order coupled with the earlier people produced the more defined statements of what makes Yoruba. In the history of West Africa AD 10,000 through 1800, Onwubiko states, according to tradition, Oduduwa, the chief ancestor and first king of the Yoruba, settled in Ile Ife. From this point, his descendants became kings and queens of Yoruba cities and territories. The greatest of Oduduwa's descendants was Oludumare, who became the Alafin or ruler of Oyo State. Okay? Somewhere around 1400 CE, Urumayan's armies marched across southern Sudan. and penetrated deep into the great tropic forest, conquering and laying the foundations of the Yoruba Empire. Centuries of spectacular glory and achievement followed the reign of Arumayan. It was during this great era that Yoruba people and people reestablished Ile-Ife as a spiritual capital of Oyo as the government seat. Okay? According to Sheikh Anta Diop. Don't fucking play with me. Don't fucking play with me. Okay? Honey, I got books. I don't just read shit off the fucking internet. Okay? According to Sheikh Anta Diop, a renowned archaeologist. They came from Egypt and moved into Nigeria. They were from Egypt. Anyone, okay, get this book. Don't play with me. Straight up. You want to talk about you sound like you got some acid reflux. You don't know you want to have acid brain flux of you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. Acid nut bullshit flux. Okay? Don't play with me. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. I have the books that prove what I'm saying. Anyways, let me get into the 16 truths of Ifa. Ifa is not only a Yoruba. This comes from Egypt. The priests that were leaving Egypt, that's where they ended up at. Okay. So you want to know what happened to the Metal Netter and all the priests and whatever? They migrated into Ile-Ife and created the Yoruba, the Ifa. Ifa is a divination system. That's the main thing. But let's stop it. Anyways. And every time that guy shows up, the other guy shows up. I don't know. But bottom line, I'm gonna say this is that like he tried to come up here and like try to challenge me on where Yoruba came from and where the Yoruba people came from. And I just showed that even Sheikh Anta Diop, based on this book right here, Yoruba Religious Concepts, written by Baba Ifa Karade, is saying that they came from Egypt. And I'm not getting this shit from Chat GPT. I'm getting this from a straight up book. So don't play with me. A book, and I have several other books I can go grab. Don't play with me on my what I got, because I got some books for your ass. I can go up in my goddamn library and grab all type of books between 48 Laws of Power, Art of Seduction, everything you could think of. I have books. Trust me. Ask Angel. She'll tell you. I got books. Books on books on books. I don't just read fucking Chat GPT. I have the books to back it up. So don't come over here trying to challenge me on shit, because I will grab a book and show you exactly the page it was on, the actual where I read it from. Because half y'all just reading Chat GPT, honey. I got the books. Okay. Anyways, let me just calm down, because that shit pissed me off. This motherfucker talking about some like, oh, you got like some acid reflux, honey. You know, I got asshole reflux. Asshole reflux. Like, that's because you're an asshole trying to come up here and talk about like the fucking Haitians, and you don't pretend like you're a voodoo person, hoodoo, and then talk about the Haitians, and you're a mulatto. You're a fucking half white, half black dude talking about Haitians. Because normally his thing is called pan mulattoism, and then he comes up there talking negatively about Haitians. So what the fuck is your fucking aim, bro? To troll about Haitians? There's nothing like, look, don't be why would you want to be listen, I'm not down with that the tether treating other Jamaicans because they went through the same or even worse slavery that some of our African Americans and FBAs did. So to all that separation and we're FBA and you guys are separate from us, that's what's wrong with y'all asses. I'm not down with that shit. That's what the fuck is wrong with us now. Y'all want to separate y'all and treat everybody else like shit. That's black. That's over here. That was enslaved. That was Dominican, Puerto Rican, whatever the fuck they are. Y'all want to like treat them? No, man, no. I'm not down with that shit. I'm not down with y'all mistreating Jamaicans, Haitians, Trinidadians, Barbadians. Because when I looked at my DNA, I saw that damn, I got a little bit of Barbadian in me, or Bahamian, whatever the fuck it is, Bermudian, whatever the fuck. So easily y'all can say I'm a tether. I might not know how to like. I'm not directly, it's down the line on my dad's side, but shit. So now I gotta be treated fucked up because no, we ain't fixing to do all that because my lineage goes back too on my other side that might not be linked to like Caribbean. Y'all dumb as fuck listening to that bullshit and feeding into that. Man, y'all can kiss my motherfucking ass with that shit. A tether. Use a tether. Half y'all got like some Caribbean shit going on. Do some research. Instead, you want to call somebody a tether. You don't get the fuck up out of here with that bullshit, man. My DNA said Nigerian. It said Barbadian. It said Nordic. I don't know what the fuck that shit's about. Look, Nordic. I'm like, am I an alien? Fucking Nordic, and like some Scottish shit, So why would I sit up here and be like mad about that? Like about, oh, you tether. Well, honey, half of you, if you did your real like breakdown of all the shit that you got going on, because y'all all got a cut on you. Because they was getting it in with the slaves, child. Y'all only like no pure blood, Sudanese. So don't come over here trying to talk some shit to me because I'm gonna bust you out and be like, man, fuck you, whatever you got to say. I don't know who you think you talking to, bro. The fuck, man, that shit pissed me off. Let me go into the truth of E5. Like I'm like, that shit pissed me the fuck off. What the fuck? Why do other black niggas come up here and try to fuck with me, bro? It be our own black folks. But he ain't black. That nigga's a fucking mulatto. Pan mulatto. And he can mulatto his ass over to go to the white people and talk that shit. Why you want to be pan mulatto and get on the black folks stuff talking shit? Take your mulatto ass and go to the white people and talk to them. But he want to get on the black folks shit and just and challenge them on whatever the hell they talking about with his Baltimore stupid ass sounding accent. Whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like with his Baltimore, the super Baltimore accent. I already knew it was his ass the moment he opened his goddamn mouth. You know what I'm saying? The fuck? I'm sorry. Let me just. That shit pissed me off. Woo. Anyway, 16 truths of Ifa. Because I'm like, dude, that shit, if anything, pissed me off. And I'm now he happy. I hope you happy, sir, because you really got on it. You did it. You did that. All right, so let's go. There's a single creator. Okay. There is no devil. Except the day you were born and the day you were supposed to die, there is not one event that cannot be forecast and necessarily changed. It is your birthright to be happy, fulfilled, and successful. You should grow, obtain wisdom as you journey through earth. You are reborn through your blood relatives. Heaven is home, earth is the marketplace. We are in constantly passage between the two. You are part of the universe in a literal, not figuratively, in literal. You must never initiate harm on another human being. You must never harm the universe, which you are a part of. Your temporal and spiritual capacities must work together. You are born with a specific path. It is your goal to travel it. Divination is your roadmap. Our ancestors exist and should be honored. Sacrifice guarantees success. The Orisha live within us. You need have no fear. The 16 truths of Ifa. Okay? That is it. Any questions? I'm gonna put the link in the chat, and I hope this nigga does not come here and piss me the fuck off. Anyone that wants to have a reasonable conversation on what I just said, and not some bullshit. Okay. I'm leaving the chat open for anyone that wants to. Whew. That should, I mean, oh my God. It shouldn't be. You know what? I this is the problem with the, you know what? When you have that cut on you, it's that cut. You know what I'm saying? That little extra cut. That little, you know what I'm saying? Got a little bit of Caucasian. It makes you feel like you're superior. So you'll get on a thing and like try to like execute your superiority. You understand what I'm saying? That's the problem. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a video on the OB because I don't want people to leave this thing and leave it on like a negative, because that was not my intention. My intention was to explain E5 to people that don't know. Because everybody wants to call E5 voodoo, and voodoo and E5 are two separate things, not the same thing. Okay, voodoo and E5 are two separate practices, two separate religions. Okay, so before I oh Lord, I'm sorry, I got pissed off. Let me I'll play this real quick. I'm gonna play this and then get into the Ori, so that people that are very clear about what Ifa is. The Ori is the center of Ifa practice. The Ori is your own mind, your head, your thoughts. Now, this practice, Ifa, have existed in Egypt, in Ile Ife for BCE, Let me just play this. Let me just make sure you guys can see it. This is a ancient. This is ancient practice. You hear me? This is not just bullshit. Let's go.
But it's also a whole lot more than that. It is the Yoruba word for physical head, but it's also a whole lot more than that. Ori is your spiritual head, your higher consciousness, the creator and dispenser of your destiny, your inner spirit, your God self. It is where thoughts and emotions merge to become wisdom. It is where consciousness is both born and resides. Ori is the most efficient and highest level of communication between Oludumare and all his creations. Ori is the most important mediator and facilitator between the spirit realm and this 3D reality, between what is and what could be, between your current reality and your destiny. I'm Baba Bonregunweke Niger Zen, and African spirituality, and particularly Ifa, is my calling, my truth, my purpose, and it's my pleasure to share with you some of that knowledge. This video is about Ori. It is long overdue, so my apologies. I know I promised many of you who've had consultations with me this video was coming, but better late than never. It is here now. Sit back, grab a pen, some paper, take notes, and enjoy. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to the concept of Ori, the Ifa concept of Ori, and to give you simple exercises, which I call Ori work, that you can carry out on your own to begin connecting with and venerating your Ori. So make sure you watch until the end so you can make a note of those exercises that you're going to have to do morning and night. There'll be more videos that are going to be a bit more in-depth, where we're going to look into things like Atari, Akbari, Nuori, Akbere, Ikbako, and Ikwori, and all those things. We're going to look into those later on. But for now, I just want to introduce you to the concept of Ori, so you can see how Ori can improve your life, how Ori is key to spiritual development. Ifa, the voice and wisdom of Oludumare, teaches us that before we venerate any other deity, we must venerate our Ori, our creator, our personal creator. Your Ori is the creator of and cannot be separated from your destiny. In order for you...
All right. So before we get into this, because I have a person in the back, and I want to give him a little bit time to say what he got to say, because but I want to go ahead and say, was there something you wanted to say about, because I'm pissed.
Rise and shine, DJ Genesis. This is the man in the high castle. Proud Americans, it is time for the one and only Reverend Green. How's everybody doing in the live chat?
All right, so we're talking about the Ori. So, is there anything you want to say on the subject?
Ori. Well, what can I say? I mean, you know what that's all about. If you know what that's all about, readers, people who have watched films, television shows, that's the spirit, that's the energy, that's the life source, right or wrong.
The Ori is your head, your brain.
What is your brain? What is your brain?
That's pretty much everything that produces your thoughts, everything that creates the reality that you understand, that you see in front of you.
What is it that you see in front of you?
Pictures, colors, images, etc.
Is that not energy?
Yes. Okay, so I'll let him finish what he was saying. Let's go.
Your potential to be realized, it must come through your Ori. All manifestations in this actuality, in this 3D reality, must be sanctioned by your Ori. What many call luck is essentially your Ori at work. Ori is your governing personal creator. Every single communication between humans, Oludumare, and the cosmos is facilitated by Ori. It is important for spiritual growth to connect with, pay homage to, and venerate your Ori. Ori can be venerated by feeding, which we call Ori Bibo or Ibori, but also through words and even thoughts. When we do divination and you're told your Ori needs to be appeased, we're talking about Ori Bibo done the traditional way on your behalf. But you don't need to do divination to have your Ori appeased on your behalf. You can always request for your Ori to be appeased. For those who don't know how to do Ori Bibo, you can request it at any time and we'll gladly do it for you. For ease of understanding, I like to differentiate between Ori appeasement or feeding your Ori Bibo and Ori work, which is what we're going to focus on in this video, because that's something you can do on your own. There isn't any steep learning curve. You can literally start today and start the process of venerating your Ori, of communicating with your Ori, which is going to help you grow spiritually, as well as other benefits. It has a whole range of benefits, which we're going to talk about. So, keep watching. So I guess the big question would be, why should we do Ori work? Or why should we appease our Ori? As I've been repeating myself, saying Ori veneration is key to spiritual growth. I know in the diaspora, there's a heavy focus on Orisha and everyone wanting to know which Orisha has their head before initiation. But like I always say to clients, a lot of us have forgotten the Ori, the O-R-I in Orisha. Your own personal supreme deity, your own personal creator, which resides in you 24/7. Your Ori keeps you in alignment with your destiny. Your Ori guides and leads your essay, your feet, towards fulfilling that destiny and favorable places. Your Ori will guide your feet to favorable places. That's what you want. You want your Ori to guide your feet to cool lands, what we say cool lands, which means, everything is kind of chill, and your Ori will guide you to places where you will be elevated. Your Ori protects you from negativity and evil. Your Ori scares you away from people, places, and situations that do not.
I want to just stop this right here. Every time he says your Ori, imagine he's saying your mind. Your mind protects you from this. Your mind, your own thoughts, your mind, what you think, right? Everything is about your thoughts, okay? So it's people like want to make this whole thing spooky dooky. Your Ori. No, it's your mind, your own thoughts. Whatever is going into your mind, in your head, is what happens. Let's
serve you. Doing Ori work, when you do your morning and night, when you communicate, when you venerate your Ori daily or as often as you can, increases your intuition, clarity, focus. Your Ori can go forth and bring the favorable things that you want into your life. That's when we say sometimes, you send your Ori on an errand. Your Ori can help you develop the characteristics you need to work on so that you become a better person, because as always in this tradition, Iwakbele, being of good character, is the goal. None of us are perfect. We're all works in progress, but your Ori can help you become the better person you want to be, the best version of yourself. If you need to work on your temper, if you need to work on certain bad habits that you have, if you need to work on tardiness, whatever it is, your Ori can help you achieve that. I often use myself
Essential elk theory states that those thoughts are evolutionary deadweight. Every genocidal maniac thinks themselves enlightened. It says, a fool claims to know, the wise know they know nothing. All right, so understood, right? So he's saying that to constantly be working on yourself. He's not saying that you know anything. He's not saying that you know something. He's saying that the whole aspect of Ifa, the main aspect is your Ori, and you trying to develop your mind, your Ori, which is your mind, and to continue to develop it, deal with your issues, and to continue to work towards like being an Iwapule of good character. That means trying to be the best person you could be.
All things that you want into your life. That's when we say sometimes, you send your Ori on an errand. Your Ori can help you develop the characteristics you need to work on so that you become a better person, because as always in this tradition, Iwakbele, being of good character, is the goal. None of us are perfect. We're all works in progress, but your Ori can help you become the better person you want to be, the best version of yourself. If you need to work on your temper, if you need to work on certain bad habits that you have, if you need to work on tardiness, whatever it is, your Ori can help you achieve that. I often use myself, when I'm talking about Ori, I often use myself as an example. Oh, by the way, guys, I'm not doing a lot of editing with this video, so there might be some bloopers, whatever, but I just have to get the content out because I've been promising you guys so many different videos and I'm pumping them out, especially this September, okay? Back to what I was saying. I often use myself as an example. One of the things we discuss in the Ifa introductory workshop, there was one yesterday, by the way, so if you missed that, you missed that, but don't worry, there's going to be there's a workshop monthly. So the next one is on the 20th of October. It's live, meaning you can sign up for it now if you want and catch the early bird. But one of the things we discuss in the Ifa introductory workshop, which we had yesterday and discussed, is how I ask my Ori to fill me with certain characteristics of the Orisha. Right? And during the workshop also, I share the exact words that I use and other power words, all right? So because I'm named after Orumila, the father of Ifa, and one of his characteristics is patience. So I always ask my Ori to fill me with that patience, the patience of Orumila, because I wasn't always the most patient person. I mean, actually the opposite. I tell my clients sometimes in consultation when we're talking about Ori and things like that, or in coaching, how, I used to time even grocery shopping. So I get to the grocery store, the supermarket, and I gave myself 20 minutes. There was already a cab booked to pick me up in 20 minutes, and I'm whizzing around the store. And by the time I'm ready to check out, if the checkout person was talking on their phone or whatever, I would snap at them and get all, not too pleasant. Now, I'm that person that the checkout person is trying to tell something about their life, and I'm listening, or they've got a gift for me because we're now friends. And all this turnaround, this change, a complete 360, has been because of my Ori and doing my Ori work and asking my Ori to be more, so that I could be a more patient person, so that I can have that particular characteristic of Orumila, so that I can experience people and life in a better way. Truly experience people instead of running around like a crazy person from A to B to C to D, not really taking in what was going on around me. So now I have a better experience of life because I am more patient. And of course, it's necessary, doing this work because, some of you can be. Anyway, guys, for those of you who are always asking how you can support, I now have Buy Me a Coffee. So you can go to the link and then this stuff. And even how do we begin to connect with and venerate our Ori? It's advisable to, incorporate your Ori work or praying to your Ori, however you want to phrase it, into your morning and night routines. I know some of you already have, morning and night spiritual routine that you do, whether you're doing your prayers or Iwure, affirmations, whatever you're calling them. You have something you're doing, your meditation, your early morning meditation. Incorporate your Ori work into your routine so that it becomes part of your lifestyle. So that it's not something you have to think about every day. You just do it. It is part of what you do. It is part of who you are. Okay? So now, when venerating Ori, we cover our heads. So men will wear like this fila, something like that, or whatever you want to cover your head with, whatever you have. Women will wrap their heads. However, I'm one of the people who also do Ori work in the shower. So obviously when I'm in the shower or if I'm using certain Ifa medications, I'm not covering my head. And, to be honest with you, some mornings, you're not covering your head. You may get up and do it. But officially, traditionally, you cover your head when venerating your Ori. If you forget one morning, or like if you're like me and you like to do some Ori stuff in the shower as well, for me, it's okay. If in doubt, ask Ifa. For me, it's all right. But we're all different. If you feel led to always cover your head, then please do so. If you like the energy of water and you want to also do some Ori work, after you've done the one when you woke up, as soon as you get up, hold your head, do your Ori work. I'm going to tell you what to do, what to say. But when you go in the shower, because not everyone has a shower as soon as they get up. Some people have breakfast first. Some people check emails. Before you get involved with the world, hold your head, do your Ori work. But if you want to say some additional words of power while you're in the shower, which I encourage people to do, it's okay. It's okay to do that. I communicate with my Ori throughout the day, but I'm giving you what you should do morning and night. Okay? When you get up in the morning, hold your covered head, right? Pay homage. We always pay homage. Whatever I'm doing, I always like to start with homage and gratitude. So pay homage. You can pay homage to, this is the shorter version. When you're doing Ori Bibo, the homage and Iba and all that is much longer. This is just morning, you get up, hold your head, pay homage to, with both hands like so, pay homage to Oludumare, Ori, and Eleda, and then begin your Ori prayers. Right? Begin your Ori prayers. These are the English versions I'm going to give you, but I am going to include some of the Yoruba words. And for those who are going to start, why are you doing it in English? Because most of my clients don't speak Yoruba, even some of the Nigerian ones. Surprise, surprise. Not all Nigerians speak Yoruba. Not all Yoruba people speak or understand Yoruba fluently due to colonization and the fact that we are all over the world. But I do still like to include some of the Yoruba words in there because they are power words. And I don't think all words need to be translated to English. Ori being one. I've seen Ori prayers in English where it's always my inner spirit, my spirit. And I just call Ori, Ori. I'm not translating Ori. You can use other words for it in your prayer, that's fine. But I think it's important to actually say the word Ori. And for those who prefer, text, there'll be a free PDF. Check the description box. You can download the PDF free from my website. So, if you're on the go, or if you're traveling, or, you just want something to look at, because you're not always going to have time to listen to this video in its entirety to the end to hear the actual words I'm about to tell you. So there will be a free PDF. Check the link below and download the PDF. Okay, so like I said, any iwure, any prayer, I start with Iba, homage and gratitude. Again, this is going to be in the PDF, but I'm going to speak it so that we know what I'm saying. Iba Oludumare, Iba Ori, Iba Eleda. I pay homage to Oludumare, Ori, and Eleda. Eleda is your personal creator. I say your name, Kunle, or whatever your name is, Tamisha, child of, say your mother's name. I give thanks to Ori for protecting me through the night, and ask Ori to protect, guide, and lead me through this day. I have total trust and confidence in my Ori that today is going to be a good day, and at the end of the day, I will have reason to give thanks. Ori, I ask you to put a protective shield around me, protecting me from any and all evil and negativity. Wherever my name is called in evil altars or shrines, my Ori will not answer. Ori, I ask you to guide and lead my essay towards good health and happiness. Ori, I ask you to guide and lead my essay towards fulfilling my destiny. Ori, I ask you to guide and lead my essay towards prosperity and abundance. Ori, I ask you to steer me away from evil, negativity, ill health, poverty, and all which no longer serves me. Ori, bless me abundantly. Ori, do not let me labor in vain. Repeat those 2 lines 3 times. Ori saw me, Ori gbe mi, Ori jà fún mi, Ori mi má padà lẹ́yìn mi. I'm going to give you the English version of that now. Ori guide me, Ori support me, Ori fight for me. My Ori do not forsake me. Repeat that 3 times. Ashe. That is your morning Ori work. As you grow, as you progress, you're going to get better, and you're going to start incorporating more of your own words so that you can personalize it, because remember, it's your Ori, it's not my Ori, but I'm giving you these things to get you started. Certain situations will be happening in your life. You're going to add things to it depending on your needs and what's going on in your life at the time. Okay. I also have Ori prayers in the shorts, YouTube shorts, which you can check out, and more Ori power words. I have a new set of power words that I share during the Ifa introductory workshop. So again, if you want to sign up for that, link is going to be in the description box for the next Ifa introductory workshop. As I said, it's going to be a monthly thing where I share, how to get started with Ifa, what is Ifa, Ori, ancestors, Yoruba pantheon, all kinds of stuff. Nighttime, when you're done running around for the day, and it's time once again for you to connect with your Ori. So again, you're going to hold your head, right? And you'll be speaking into a calabash bowl or glass of water, whatever you have. Again, Iba Oludumare, Iba Ori, Iba Eleda, Iba Omitutu. That is, I pay homage to Oludumare, Ori, Eleda, and cool water. I, Nisi, or whatever your name is, child of, say your mother's name, I give thanks to Ori for protecting me through the day, and ask Ori to protect me through this night. If there's anything you want revealed to you while you sleep, ask your Ori to reveal it to you. and then repeat those words that we said in the morning. Ori somi, ori bemi, ori jafumi, ori mi makbadalaimi. In English, Ori guide me, Ori support me, Ori fight for me. My Ori do not forsake me. Repeat it 3 times, say Ashe. Put some of the cool water on your head. There are various, so many Ori prayers. I shared some other stuff with the workshop earlier tonight. So like I said, you will learn more as you get on, but you can start doing this today. If you're watching this probably in the afternoon or evening, you can start with the evening prayer.
Wow. That was Asian that had a FU nigger. That's crazy. Anyways.
Tomorrow morning and start the morning prayer. That is beginner's level things to get you started in English, doing your Ori work. If you found this video useful, please share it. You know, some people want to know about Ori, so if you found the video useful, share it with someone who would appreciate it. And don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, hit that notification bell, all that good stuff.
All right. What are your thoughts so far?
My thoughts, it's you know, it's what it is. It's another person trying to explain to those who want to know about Ifa and certain terminologies. You know, religion is strange like that. You know, however, I think the great religions, they don't need to market like that. It's always found. You know, it's always found. People will seek it out.
This your people's Babalawo, Eshuwala Adigun, and I'm back with another video for these spiritual streets, man. Hey, as requested from the people, Yahweh versus Oludumare. Let's get into it, man. First of all, we have to understand how this became to where people are confusing Oludumare with Yahweh, right? And the answer is very simple. A man by the name of Ajayi Crowther, who was captured in slavery, and the ship was intercepted by British mercenaries, essentially translated the Bible into Yoruba. And when he did so, he switched around 2 very important figures, okay? 2 very important. And who are those very important figures? Eshu and Oludumare. So he translated Eshu, he translated Satan to Eshu, and he translated Yahweh to Oludumare. Now, for some reason, he didn't keep going along these lines of synchronicities. He stopped right there at 2 very key figures. For those who want a deeper breakdown of what I'm about to reveal for y'all, I got it in my blog that's pinned in the comments and in the description. All right. So for those who even want to go to study past this, what I'm telling you, my blog has deeper information and my description has the blog in it. And so does my comment section. All right. So click the blog. Now, Yahweh versus Oludumare and why they are not the same. Why they are not the same. Let's start with this one right here. Yahweh is a covenant God, okay? What do I mean by a covenant God? Yahweh has a covenant with the Israelites, okay? This is how we come into Yahweh. Yahweh has a covenant with the Israelites, okay? And this covenant was sealed in blood. on Mount Sinai. It speaks about this in Exodus, where Moses essentially seals the contract between Yahweh and a group of Israelites, and he sprinkles blood over them, and it seals the covenant. You see, Yahweh, a lot of people lately, Christians been coming on my post talking crazy about, a supreme God doesn't take blood sacrifice. Well, right there, the covenant was sealed between Yahweh and the Israelites in blood. And so from that day forward, Yahweh looked at the Israelites as his chosen people. The Israelites are the chosen people of who? Yahweh. All right. And so that is very different from Oludumare. Oludumare is a supreme figure who is not tied to a particular peoples in that way, as Yahweh is to the Israelites. Oludumare does not have a covenant with tribes. You get what I'm telling you? Oludumare is a supreme force that gives life energy, and or what we call Ashe. Oludumare gives Ashe to everything around us. You see the difference? Yahweh, covenant God that made a pact with the Israelites in blood. Oludumare, a supreme God that gives Ashe, or life force, to everything that we see, is Oludumare. Very different, y'all. Very different. Oludumare is not involved in that type of stuff like Yahweh be mixing it up with people. You know what I'm saying? So Oludumare didn't get sealed in a covenant in that way. All right, that is what Yahweh did. Very different. Understand me? And in saying that, let's give credit to the Yorubas who identified this and brought forth the knowledge. Okay, so although Oludumare is not in a covenant with any particular people, the reason we're saying that name, Oludumare, in that way, in this context, is because of Yorubas. When you go to other tribes, they will have other names for that supreme being who functions in the same way, because this is African spirituality, okay? But that same crossover does not exist when it comes to Abrahamic. Okay, so Yahweh speaks directly to people. All right, this is another thing. Yahweh speaks directly to people. He rewards them. He punishes them. He gives them specific instructions. This is what Yahweh does. Yahweh physically or come to those prophets and tell them what he wants done, his will. This is Yahweh. You understand, family? This is Yahweh. Now, Yahweh also destroys. You know, he chooses what he wants to reject away from him. This is Yahweh, you know, and when we're saying this, is not in a symbolic way of what Yahweh is doing. Literally, when you read the Bible, you will read verses where Yahweh is directly talking to prophets and giving them instructions. Okay, this is very different from Oludumare, who is hands off in that way. Oludumare instead delegates those tasks to Orishas or Irumules, and the Irumules carry out these things. Oludumare stays distant and not connected to those things in that way. Oludumare is not just coming down and giving instructions. Even when it comes to what we call Odu Ifa, which we say is the voice of Oludumare, the Odu Ifa, each Odu is its own Irumule. You see? So even in that sense, Oludumare have delegated those Irumule that we call Odu Ifa to carry out the task. Very different, family. Very different. Oludumare is not directly interceding. Instead, Ejogbe is interceding. Instead, Iwori Meji is interceding. Instead, Oshun is interceding. Instead, Obatala is interceding. It's not coming direct that Oludumare just come down and tell you this thing. That is what Yahweh does. Yahweh intercedes on the behalf of man direct. It meddles in the affairs of human beings. This is what Yahweh does, family. It's very important to understand that, you know. Another aspect is the temperament. Yahweh, in the scripture, he becomes jealous. He demands that you exclusively worship him. He destroys nations for not worshiping him. You see what I'm saying? He sends plagues at nations for not worshiping him. Oludumare does not operate in that way. There is no people that can say they were destroyed by Oludumare because they chose not to worship Oludumare. No. Oludumare is not emotionally volatile. Oludumare is distant, supreme, stable. Is Oludumare, you see? And so Yahweh in scripture is always getting angry at people, testing people, making bets with the devil, as in the case with Job, or where Yahweh is making a wager with Satan and trying to see if Job will turn away from Yahweh. Oludumare is not doing things like that. Oludumare is not making wagers with figures or other Irumules to try to turn people away from Oludumare to see if they will actually do it. This is what Yahweh does. Yahweh makes wagers with people's lives and say, oh, let's see if they'll turn away from us. Let's see if they'll turn away from me. And then if they do turn away from me, I'm going to punish them. If they don't turn away from me, I'll give them some type of reward. But they still lost everything they lost. This is what Yahweh does over and over again. Yahweh will test the faith to see if the person will be steadfast to Yahweh. Very different from Oludumare, family. Very different. Yahweh says, don't put any other gods before me. Yahweh says, don't put any other gods before me. Where Oludumare does no such thing. Oludumare does no such thing. Oludumare does not tell a group of people, don't put any gods before me. Oludumare acknowledges the multiplicity of supreme beings in the world. Okay? Very different. Oludumare is not framed as the leader of a specific tribe or a nation. You get what I'm saying? Oludumare is a force that exists for the world, Craig. For the world. You know what I'm saying? And whereas Yahweh is very specific to who he's tied to, and Yahweh also makes threats. So if you are to worship another deity other than Yahweh, Yahweh makes threats that you will suffer these consequences. You know what I'm saying? You will suffer these consequences. Whereas Oludumare does not do that. That is something that Yahweh does. You know, Yahweh is territorial. Yahweh is very territorial. So Yahweh is a different type of deity entirely. And I just want to down that narrative that Oludumare is Yahweh. It is not the same. Oludumare is Oludumare and Yahweh is Yahweh. Yahweh, I went through the list of what Yahweh is. I went through the list of what Oludumare is. So now, family, you should have a very clean understanding of the differences between these two beings. Okay? You should have a very complete understanding of these beings. All right? So with that said, like I said, the blog is in the comments. Make sure.
What if there was something that could stop you from making the same mistakes in 2025 that you've been making the last few years? Mistakes that cost you time, money, heartache, your freedom, or even your health. Well, you've seen the title, so you know I'm talking about Ifa divination and how it can empower your spiritual growth, your business, your love life, your career, your financial growth, and even your health. Life is precious, and with each passing hour, you're an hour closer to leaving this physical body. So why waste time on things, people, places that aren't in alignment with your destiny and your highest good? I'm Agboniregun, aka Naija Zen, and Ifa is not a hobby for me. Ifa is my truth, my life, and my calling. It is my pleasure to share with you guys as much as I possibly can to empower you to make the right choices as you take this journey along the ancestral path. Before we talk about Ifa divination, we need to talk a little bit about Ifa in general. What is Ifa? Ifa is often described or defined as the religion of the Yoruba people. For me, Ifa is a whole lot more than religion, even though it does contain religion or spirituality. Ifa is a collection of Yoruba thoughts, wisdom, history, culture, traditions, philosophy, science, medicine, healthcare, justice, and so much more. Ifa is the collection of all knowledge and understanding, and Ifa is the primary Yoruba divinity. Ifa influences life in your current physical body and beyond. Ifa tweaks certain parts of one's destiny. Ifa is unavoidably and intricately woven into the very fabric of Yoruba society. From the names of the days, for example, Ojo Aje, which is today, Monday, and I'm sure many of you have heard of Aje Olokun, the Orisha, for financial prosperity. Then we have the cuss words we used as kids, like Oriope. Now, we often translate that as your head is not correct or complete. It basically means, you're kind of cuckoo, crazy. But when you think of Ori in the spiritual term, Ori is also your spiritual head, your higher consciousness, your God self, the creator of your destiny. Then that cuss phrase or word, whatever you want to call it, Oriope. So when we look at it from a spiritual angle, we can say, well, your Ori is not in alignment, and your Ori needs to be appeased in order to be complete. Or you are not in alignment with your Ori, or your Ori is not in alignment with whatever your current situation is. So Ifa, Isheshe is all part of life. It's part of tradition. It's part of culture. Now, on to Ifa divination. When we consult the oracle of Ifa, we are channeling the energy of Ifa, of Orumila. Orumila is the father of Ifa and the one who brought Ifa to the world. Oludumare gave Orumila, one of the divinities, that task of bringing Ifa to the world, bringing this wisdom, this enlightenment, this knowledge to the world. Ifa and Orumila are often used interchangeably, even though Orumila is actually, the father, the prophet of Ifa. Orumila, Bara Agboniregun, Eleripi, Ibikeji Olodumare. Orumila is known as the witness to creation, spirit of destiny, and second to Olodumare, the supreme creator. When we consult Ifa using a special divination chain, Okbele, or the Ikinfa, which are the sacred palm seeds, or Erindilogun, which are the 16 cowrie shells, Ifa then becomes the voice of Olodumare. So Ifa is the voice of the supreme being, the voice of the supreme creator. And when you cast the Okbele, or when you're using the Ikinfa for divination, one of the 256 Odu is the corpus of Ifa, is revealed and interpreted to offer you divine spiritual guidance, right? So as we speak to Ifa, for instance, those who have their Ikinfa, either after receiving the hand of Ifa or initiation, Ifa also becomes the ears of Oludumare. So it is through Ifa that we connect with Oludumare and the Orisha and, the rest of the powers that be. So Ifa is both the ears and the voice of Oludumare, through which we learn life's truths. Many of us consult Ifa before making important decisions. How often you do divination depends on your needs. There's some people who do divination every month. There's some people who do divination every week. A lot of business people will be on a monthly schedule of divination because they want their business flowing correctly. They want to make the right decisions and all that. So they'll do monthly divination. If you'd like to book divination, by the way, you can do that on my website, nigerzen.co. Just go to the services page. We still have a few slots for New Year's divination. I have added some more by popular demand. A lot of the people, especially some of you guys here on YouTube, be your guide for the year, okay? What are the advantages of New Year's and Ifa divination in general? As I mentioned earlier, having access to this divine guidance based on the Odu Ifa revealed saves you from a lot of unnecessary wahala. Is this person I'm seeing in alignment with my destiny? Should I invest in gold or agriculture, which will be more profitable? Are there any health issues I should look out for? Should I stay at my current job or switch careers and tap into the creative side? Will I get married this year? I have been having struggles conceiving. Is this the year I will be blessed with a child? What do I need to do to receive the blessings of a child? Are there any spiritual blockages or ancestral curses affecting my finances or love life? None of the men in my family are blessed with prosperity. Is there an issue, and who do we need to appease? These are some of the questions people ask during divination. Look, it just saves you from a lot of heartache, time, hassle, whether it's the relationship, your job, the decisions you want to move. Should I move to Atlanta? Should I move to Lagos? Everyone's moving to Ghana. And is this going to be good for me? Just because everyone is doing something doesn't mean it's going to be good for you. It doesn't mean it's in alignment with your destiny. Just because, someone looks great, someone has a fat booty, or someone, is handsome and is everything you've ever wanted, does not mean that person is in alignment with your destiny. So it saves a lot of time, it saves a lot of heartache, it saves a lot of money, and it can help you plan your year. It can help you plan your life. Maybe you have a few ideas of what you want to do with business this year. Get the guidance. Is it going to be gold? Is it going to be crypto? Is it going to be agriculture? Should you go into the food business? Should you go into entertainment? You can ask these questions. Maybe you're trying to switch careers. We find out. Is this going to be a good move? Should you switch this year? Should you wait till next year before you switch? You're getting the picture. Or you met someone, you're all in love. You want to know. A lot of people always want to know. It's usually love or money. People want to know, even though Ifa will tell you everything, regardless of what you think you want to know. Ifa will tell you about yourself. But, a lot of people are in a relationship. Will he propose this year? Is this person my life partner? Is this person in alignment with my destiny? Is this the person I should be getting married to? Or, should we just have a good time and it's going to be over in a year or two? These are the kind of things people want to know. There are lots of ways you can use Ifa divination to empower your life. Health issues. We don't tell you not to go to your regular doctor. I always tell people you could do both. But maybe you have a feeling there's more to this pain that you're feeling, or the primary physician or whoever can't really help you, but it could be something spiritual. You never know. Ifa can tell you. If you do New Year's divination, Ifa may tell you what kind of health issues to look out for this year. If you're interested in Ifa divination, African spirituality, or manifestation coaching, Ajeolokun appeasement, or Shun appeasement, or re-appeasement, spirit or financially ready to make Ebo, you should probably go for yes-no divination. Because if you do Ifa divination, full Ifa divination, it always comes with a prescription of Ebo. Ebo is a transference of energy. If you want me to do another video on Ebo, please say so in the comments, because there's been some negativity recently. People are trying to say, oh, we should no longer be doing these sacrifices. And, you know, instead of, perhaps blood being used, you could use, I've heard red wine, but we can talk about that more in another video. Ebo is the transference of energy. Ebo will be prescribed when you do divination, because everything on this planet is energy and has energy. So when you do Ebo, for instance, a plant, right, there's an esoteric meaning behind everything. Ewe Abamoda, one of my favorite plants, miracle leaf, it has an esoteric meaning. So when you use that as part of your Ebo, you're transferring the energy from that plant to help your life. In the same way, pigeons have a certain energy. So if you use a pigeon, you are transferring what the energy of the pigeon means esoterically to help your life. I've said it before. It's another video I have on their money rituals in Ifa. You can go check that out. There's absolutely no money rituals in Ifa. Plants, animals, even inanimate things, clothes can be a part of your Ebo, because maybe a white cloth signifies something. So everything on this planet, everything in this cosmos is energy. And each thing has an esoteric meaning. And that energy is what is used during Ebo. You need to appease an Orisha. You need to appease your maternal ancestors, your paternal ancestors. We make Ebo. Sorry, my throat was dry. So we make Ebo, yeah, and Eshu, the divine messenger. Eshu is a whole lot more than that, but for this purpose of divination and Ebo, Eshu then makes sure that the prayers and the offerings are delivered to the Orisha, to the ancestors, to Iyami, to Ifa, or whoever needs to be appeased. Ifa divination and the consequent Ebo can have a huge impact on your life and have been improving lives since time immemorial. It is just a shame that because of the demonization of African spirituality, so many of our people are so scared to tap into ancestral wisdom, and they remain stuck in a perpetual state of mediocrity and misery. We've been using Ifa since time immemorial to improve lives, to help tweak destiny. Not everything about your destiny can be tweaked, but when it can, it's tweaked a little so you have a better life. Many of our own people, and by our own people, I mean anyone with African blood running through their veins, whether they're on the continent, in the diaspora, it's all the same to me. But a lot of us are too scared to tap into ancestral wisdom. And so we stay in this perpetual state of mediocrity or even less than, and think that this is what we have to do because we have to suffer on this earth. And then you go to that place with milk and honey and everything becomes wonderful. But for those who think otherwise, there's a solution. And it is Ifa divination with the consequent Ebo. Like I said earlier, we have a few slots left for New Year's divination. If not, there's always regular divination. If you can't do it now, you can do it whenever you please. If you're not ready, spiritually, financially, mentally, to delve into the world of Ifa divination and Ebo, there are other things you can do, right? You can appease your Ori, if you're fine with that. Again, there'll be an Ori video coming. You can have your Ori appease for you on your behalf. You can appease Ajay Olokun, the Orisha, for financial prosperity, because that's still going to be a bit more affordable than doing, divination and Ebo. You don't need to do divination to appease Ajay. You can just go to the services page on my website, nigerzen.co, and say, you'll see it there, Ajay appeasement, Ajay Olokun appeasement. So you can appease Ajay, you can appease Oshun, you can appease one of the other Orisha. If you know which Orisha has your head, maybe you have some court issues, you can appease Shango. So there are things you can do. Then, of course, there are other products you can use for those who really don't want to delve into appeasing any of the Orisha or ancestors or anybody. You can use various products to help you along. There are products on my website for prosperity and protection and all that good stuff. It is up to you if this year is going to be better than the last few years, if you're going to tap into ancestral wisdom to empower your life and free you from mediocrity, lack, and heartache.